Well, howdy do, y'all. It is getting warmer by the second out here, I tell you what. So I'm staying with the theme here. I've got the Devil's Backbone Gold Leaf Lager, 4.517 IBUs. Oh yeah, their website describes subtle bready malt flavors. I'm not going to pair it off to you what the website says, but they have won some awards for this beer. Oh, it is very nice. Yeah, this, you know, this is one of those that shows you that a craft brewery can make a quality lighter lager. A lot of them just don't want to. They don't want to get in that market. But those that do, you know, can show that it's done well. I recently had the Weston. Let me show you this beer. It's kind of a light gold, but it's clear. Finishes nice and crisp. It does show you a beer like this can be done right. Earlier today I had the National Bohemian, which is that typical American, you know, adjunct lager. And I liked it because of, well, the nostalgia behind it. It is an iconic brand. I recently had, what I was going to say, and I got sidetracked, the Western Royal Lager, which was kind of a recreation of a beer done in the late 1800s from the original Western brewery the Royal Lager was. And they showed in that beer that a good craft brewery can do a nice lager. And here we go with Devil's Backbone. This is a style that's kind of ignored and disliked by many craft beer folk, but I personally enjoy it, especially in the summertime. Now, I do like the big brews. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've drank a ton of IPAs this summer, and the summer's not that old yet. But I mean, there is something to be said for a beer like this, especially when it's 95. I wish more craft breweries would make a nice, solid, traditional lager that isn't adjunct laden, just to show it can be done. Again, the Western Royal Lager is beautiful. This one is in that same category. And it's not because they have tons of flavor, it's because of their refreshing qualities, just because it just feels good on a day like this. Just to knock down a beer, you know, they go down quicker than you want them to because they just taste so good. And this one, actually, the other beer, well, those adjunct beers will kind of leave a film on you after a while. You'll after at some point you taste nothing but sweet. But this one just finishes beautifully dry and crisp, like this style should. You know, there were a lot of reasons for cost-cutting measures, and I'm not going to get into the whole history of it, because you can look it up yourself. Everybody owns a computer these days. But it was a gradual switch, you know. But folks today, younger drinkers that drink those 30 packs, you know, don't know there was a difference. You know, the Oli that my dad drank back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s isn't the Oli that's being drank today. It just isn't. Oh, wow. Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, to be 100% honest, I'm enjoying this more every sip because of the way it finishes. It's not because there's a whole lot of flavor. There isn't, but there's not supposed to be. There's just enough flavor. It tastes like beer. You know, it's not a wax nostalgic beer. It's an enjoying beer, and it tastes like beer, and it finishes like a good beer should. Which is why I drank that entire can a whole lot quicker than I intended on, just because, man, I just walked out here and started sweating like a beast, because I'm an old fat guy, and I just tasted, you know, sometimes you just taste something and you just got to have more. This was one of those beers for me today because it is so hot and because it just did everything right. So thanks, Bruguru and Red Rooster, for getting this one out to me. Wow, very nice indeed. Devil's Backbone Gold Leaf Lager.